This video is sponsored by 5-Star Games, releasing the exciting new game Demon Slayer: The Hinokami Chronicles 2. Demon Slayer is coming to an end in a massive movie event with a trilogy of films. Demon Slayer is no stranger to the movies, with Mugen Train being the #1 highest grossing movie of all time in Japan. Now all eyes are on the first of a trilogy of movies set to wrap up the entire series. The new Demon Slayer movie has broken so many records in Japan and has got an unbelievable amount of hype around it. But is it any good? Hi, I'm Charlie from Gateway to Anime, and this is my review of the Demon Slayer movie, The Infinity Castle. To get it out of the way, and the suspense out of the way, yeah, it's really, really good. It's an excellent movie. Demon Slayer fans are gonna absolutely love it. This movie kicks off directly where the last season ended, so we're thrown right into the crux of the story, and it's setting the stage for what's going to be the ending of the whole series. A lot of payoffs are finally happening. We're going to see a lot of what the Hashiras can do, a lot of what the Upper Moons can do, a lot of just really big fights, and a lot of connections coming to a head. So there's a lot at stake, and there's just so much back-to-back action in this movie in particular, and also setting up for the next two. It's very exciting. It's very hype. I was strapped in for the ride. There were moments where I was like screaming at the screen. It's a very exciting movie. I think it's exactly what Demon Slayer fans will be after. The fight scenes are great. The animation looks incredible. I do think it does suffer from a bit of the Demon Slayer flashback narrative arc and kind of means that it kind of dips in and out of energy occasionally. But other than that, it is an incredible time, and I think that people are going to be really excited. One of the challenges of making this type of movie, which is like the big ending, kind of Avengers style, you got a bunch of big characters whose stories all need to wrap up and they're all kind of coming together. So the way they've chosen to tackle it in this movie is give you key characters moments. So we're focusing on a few characters and their storylines and just giving you little tastes of the other characters who are still there, who I assume are going to be in focus next movie. This movie is all about confrontations and about wrapping up certain things that have been left unanswered in the series up until now. So there's a lot of conclusions happening, a lot of questions answered, but there's also a lot left. So I'm looking forward to part 2 and 3. I'll get into more detail now, starting with what is the best thing about it, the setting, the Infinity Castle. I have another video where I go into more detail about the Infinity Castle as a setting, but basically it is this MC Escher style building that is continuously growing and evolving in a Japanese architectural traditional style. It looks incredible, particularly in the 3D animation style and how it continuously is growing and everything orbiting around it. I know that 3D is a bit of a dirty word for some anime fans. We've been burnt by it before, but I think this is an example where it has been used incredibly effectively. This enables them to have really dynamic fight scenes where the camera moves around them in kind of orbit way, and the camera can move quite freely, which makes it quite unique for anime fights, and Demon Slayer has a very particular style. Some of the camera angles are absolutely incredible, and some of the compositing is really, really strong in this film. They blend the traditional 2D and the 3D animation so well, and you get some real depths, particularly when you're looking at the attack styles, like the breathing techniques with the swords. Like all that elemental animation in there gets that really great depth, and it looks beautiful. Demon Slayer is already famous for having incredible animation from the wonderful studio UFO Table, and I can tell you that some of the scenes in Infinity Castle are a cut above the best of what we've seen from them so far. It's genuinely thrilling to watch. It's an incredible feat in animation, and I think has raised the bar for anime films, particularly series that are adapted into films, quite high. The music was great, the voice acting performances were excellent, it's everything you can expect from Demon Slayer. On the whole, the production quality of this movie makes it worth seeing in a cinema. Speaking of incredible visuals and exciting fights, we've been playing the brand new Demon Slayer game, and it has been incredible. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, The Hinokami Chronicles 2 picks up where the last game left off and allows you to embark on the next chapter of Tanjiro's journey. It's got an expanded character roster and improved graphics and delivers on that Demon Slayer experience really authentically. This game's got a really great story mode. You've got a couple of really awesome features like Tanjiro being able to use like a smell mode to kind of investigate things, which I love. I also think it is taking place in one of the best arcs in the whole series, which is the Entertainment District arc. So it's really fun to be able to play through that and really feel like you're a part of the series yourself. This game also has a versus mode where you can just fight as one of your favorite characters from Demon Slayer, which is like a dream come true. You can actually play as all the Hashiras, which I'm hyped about. If you want to jump online, you can really test your ability and push this game to its limits. All in all, it's a super fun game. I absolutely recommend it if you're a Demon Slayer fan. It's really fun to immerse yourself into the story, into one of the best arcs of the series, I think. So definitely recommend this one. Check it out. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, The Hinokami Chronicles 2, out now. We've been playing it on the Switch, but it's also available on PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. This game has been bought out by 5 Star Games, who is the sponsor of this video. Thank you so much to 5 Star for providing us with this game and for sponsoring this video, and make sure you check it out if you want to truly immerse yourself in the Demon Slayer world. Another big question is whether or not you can walk into this movie cold, as in having no prior understanding of Demon Slayer. I personally think that it would be hard, because I think that one thing this movie doesn't do is a lot of exposition about the events just before. So there'll be a lot of missing information, I think, for new fans. That being said, I think it's a big enough spectacle and it's simple enough to kind of wrap your head around what's happening. And there's enough like in there of character development of people that are showcased, that haven't been showcased in the series before. So I think you could probably enjoy it as a new watcher to get to know that storyline or that character. You might just be sacrificing the main storyline knowledge. What helps with the structure of Demon Slayer for new fans is that they love to favor a lot of flashbacks, so that's going to be in there and people can understand these characters based off that. In terms of narrative and how Demon Slayer is, sometimes it feels like it drags a little bit with energy. This is an adaptation of the chapters of the manga, so it does feel a bit more like that than it does a cohesive movie in terms of narrative structure. In this movie, you can kind of identify different chunks of different stories as opposed to one big cohesive story, which is what a film narrative would usually be. If you have some hang-ups with some pacing like Demon Slayer and you want to watch like a cohesive movie, I don't think it's perfect, but I think in terms of like a piece that is happening for the grand finale in a trilogy, I'm really excited. I think it's great. There's a lot of compilation movies that have come out recently. It's very much a trend, and it feels just kind of like they've reverse engineered it at the end to work, and then it's kind of at the detriment of both things, so the series and the movie. I don't think that's the case for this, and I was pleasantly surprised when I watched it. I kind of went, oh, we're actually giving it the time and the care. So we're not really missing out on much of anything. I think it's really elevating it. If you're a Demon Slayer fan, you're gonna absolutely love this because it's 2.5 hours of back-to-back of everything you just love. You've got your flashbacks, you've got your fight sequences, you've got everything you come to expect just bam, in a 2.5 hour cinema extravaganza. I think for Demon Slayer fans, it's a really exciting way to watch the end of this series. Overall, I think this movie is really exciting for Demon Slayer fans and it's a visual treat. We're falling into the Infinity Castle. It's the coolest thing you've ever seen in your life. It's such an incredible setting. And the Infinity Castle, I think, is the perfect setting for a movie for Demon Slayer. So I'm glad that they've gone this route for it. This trilogy seems like a massive cultural moment for anime in general. Demon Slayer obviously coming to an end, and it's just an exciting way to do it. I think doing a trilogy, it sort of feels like, you know, like a big like Lord of the Rings or something like that. Not quite Lord of the Rings, but you know what I mean. This movie was great, but there is definitely a lot more of a story to tell, and I'm excited to see that come to life on the big screen in the next 2 movies. We're so excited about Demon Slayer that we're doing a bit of a Demon Slayer week or 2 here at Gateway to Anime, so we've got a couple of exciting things coming out. If you need a recap, you can check out our latest recap, which will catch you right up into the Infinity Castle. We've got some interviews with some of the voice actors coming out, and we're doing a full podcast deep dive on the whole series that should be out soon. So if you want more Demon Slayer, please like and subscribe because we've got a whole lot more content coming at you. A huge thank you to Crunchyroll and Sony for providing the advanced screener link for me to give this review. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle is releasing in cinemas in Australia next week on the 11th of September and worldwide, or the US, on the 12th of September. Make sure to check it out on the big screen. That's what it was made for. That's been my review of Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 1. If you like this content and want more of it, you can like and subscribe. Find us on any social media, Instagram, TikTok, etc. If you really like us, you can check us out on Patreon where we do some extra content. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm Charlie. Have a good one.